Donald Trump is a dumb man. It is a point that we are making more and more on this show, and I think it is important to call out. He is not smart. He does not understand the importance of nuanced foreign policy. He does not understand the value of our alliances abroad, and he does not understand the power vacuum he is creating when he humiliates the United States like he did. And that vacuum is being filled by actual leaders around the world who are just trolling Donald Trump at this point after what he did to President Zelensky yesterday and embarrassing the United States in doing so. Trump is furious because he screwed us over and now he's mad that people are pointing it out. Well, Donald, it's going to happen a lot, and we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into this trolling, I think we have to start from where its inception was, when UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer came to the White House and had a couple of things to say about Trump in Ukraine.
Most importantly, I provided the Prime Minister with an update on our efforts to end the bloody and horrible war in Ukraine with Russia, which would never have happened if I were president. That was not going to happen. I promise you that. After 3 years of hellacious conflict, approximately 1 million Ukrainians and Russians have been senselessly killed, but the number, I believe, is much higher than that. Countless schools, hospitals, towns, and beautiful ancient churches have been absolutely obliterated. To begin the process of ending this spiral of death, I had historic back-to-back calls with President Putin, very successful calls, I might add, and President Zelensky, and my team also spoke with the Secretary General of NATO on numerous occasions, and we're working very hard to get that war brought to an end. I think we've made a lot of progress, and I think it's moving along pretty rapidly.
The stakes, they couldn't be higher, and we're determined to work together to deliver a good deal. We've discussed a plan today to reach a peace that is tough and fair, that Ukraine will help shape, that's backed by strength, to stop Putin coming back for more. Now, I'm working closely with other European leaders on this, and I'm clear that the UK is ready to put boots on the ground and planes in the air to support a deal, working together with our allies, because that is the only way that peace will last. Mr. President, in this new era, you're also right that Europe must step up. And let me tell you now, I see the growing threats we face, and so the UK is all in. This year we'll be giving more military aid to Ukraine than ever, and just this week, I've set out how we're shouldering more of the security burden. We're already one of the biggest spenders in NATO, and now we're going much further.
We want to work with him, President Zelensky, she said before. We want to work with him, and we will work with him. I think the President and I actually have had a very good relationship. It maybe got a little bit testy because we wanted to have a little bit of what the European nations said. You know, they get their money back by giving money. We don't get the money back. Biden made a deal. He put in $350 billion, and I thought it was a very unfair situation.
We're not getting all of ours. I mean, quite a bit of ours was gifted. It was given. There were some loans, but mainly it was gifted, actually.
So, of course, Starmer, who is an actual leader and does want to support our ally in Ukraine, believes in the values of liberal democracy, was standing up to Trump. And I mentioned this in previous videos. I don't think Trump understands that world leaders score political points off of taking jabs at him because of how unpopular he is. And of course, his positions and our global standing are unpopular as well. So of course, Starmer is going to correct him. Of course, he is going to point out the shortcomings, and that is a real undersell of it. This is all what it is. The abandonment of Ukraine that we see from the United States under Donald Trump's leadership. Of course he's going to call him out. And he's not just going to call him out to his face. He's going to make it clear where he stands, which is exactly what he did in a meeting with President Zelensky today. And I want to take a look at that right here.
Well, let me just say that you're very, very welcome here in Downing Street. As you heard from the cheers on the street outside, you have full backing across the United Kingdom, and we stand with you, with Ukraine, for as long as it may take. And I hope you heard some of that cheering in the street. That is the people of the United Kingdom coming out to demonstrate how much they support you, how much they support Ukraine, and our absolute determination to stand with you, unwavering determination, and to achieve what we both want to achieve, which is a lasting peace for Ukraine based on sovereignty and security for Ukraine. So important for Ukraine, so important for Europe, and so important for the United Kingdom. So I'm much looking forward to our discussions here this afternoon. Thank you very much for making the time to come.
With pleasure. Thank you very much, Keir. Mr. Prime Minister, happy to be here. And really, I saw a lot of people, and I want to thank you, people of the United Kingdom, such big support from the very beginning of this war. Thank you, your team. And I'm very happy that His Majesty the King accepted my meeting tomorrow, and I'm thankful that you organized such a great summit for tomorrow. And we are very happy in Ukraine that we have such strategic partners. We signed with you historic documents.
100-year agreement.
Yeah, we have only with you such documents with the United Kingdom, so we're happy, and we count on your support, and really, we're really happy that we have such partners and such friends.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well,
This is what actual leadership looks like. This is standing up for your allies. This is being strong, something Donald Trump knows nothing about. And there are a couple of conservatives who called it a conspiracy theory to say that yesterday was a setup. It was. That was not some spur-of-the-moment angry reaction from Zelensky. Where was the angry reaction from Zelensky? This was the plan from Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. It was to feign anger, to feign offense, to pretend, oh, Zelensky, you're being disrespectful. It's not true. They wanted to appear strong. They wanted a big media moment to distract from the fact that Donald Trump's promises, which he was never going to keep, have completely fallen apart. Not only are prices not lower, they're much higher than at the start of his term only a couple of weeks ago. He's crumbling, so he needed something to distract. But while he's trying to shift our attention and trying to shimmy his way out of a commitment to our ally in Ukraine, the rest of the world is stepping up. And we see more of that with Justin Trudeau as well.
First of all, Canada has been there for Ukraine from day one, indeed from before day one, as in 2015 we started training Ukrainian military forces on the ground in Ukraine, which was a significant part. Western training to the Ukrainian armed forces is one of the reasons why Ukraine has been able to stand up to the Russian invaders so effectively over the past years. It's not just Canada, a number of countries have been involved. But for historical reasons, Canada having the second largest diaspora of Ukrainians in the world means that we felt deeply connected to Ukraine. But we also believe deeply that it's not just about Ukraine. It's about the rules and the values and the principles of sovereignty, of independence, of territorial integrity that protects every country in the world. All of us rely on those rules to be able to build peace and security. And we know that with the world changing, we're all going to have to do more around peace and security. One of the key themes that we heard today, as we've heard from many, many partners around the world in NATO and elsewhere over the past number of years, is people are going to be doing more on defense. 9.5 years ago, when I took office in Canada, the previous government had us down below 1% of defense spending, even though the NATO 2% pledge had been made a year or two before. In the subsequent time, we have more than tripled defense spending on the path to 2030, and we're on our way to 2%. And we know we're going to have to continue to do more and more in an uncertain world, and Canada will be there. As to how we will be there, We will work with our neighbors on it, but everything is on the table because we need to make sure that might no longer makes right in this world. That's what has led to 80 years of incredible stability and prosperity, not just in Europe, but around the world, because of the institutions we built out of the ashes of World War II. And standing up for those institutions is in the best interest of every single one of us. Ukrainians have been fighting and dying not just to protect their sovereignty, their territorial integrity. They're also fighting to protect the rules-based order that keeps us all safe around the world and has for close to 80 years now. This period of peace, stability, prosperity for the world happens because we had rules around borders, around not invading your neighbors, that Russia chose deliberately to violate a number of years ago. That is why Canada and our allies are unequivocal on standing up against Vladimir Putin's illegal, immoral, unjust violations of the international order, and why I'm looking forward to sitting down with my European partners in a couple of hours to talk about how we will continue to stand unequivocally in defense of Ukraine, but also in defense of the rules that keep us all safe.
Leaders around the world are now saying there needs to be a new leader of the free world. Imagine that. There needs to be a new leader of the free world. It is no longer the United States. Shocking to hear. That is how bad it's gotten in just a couple of weeks of Donald Trump. Those are just words. That matters. Soft power matters. Our influence around the world matters. Donald Trump does not think so. Donald Trump thinks Donald Trump matters. He wants people to suck up to him. Not even suck up to him. Just treat him nicely. Say nice things about him. That'll suffice. When Donald Trump is talking about making a deal, what he really means is making sure people praise him. That's why JD was so insistent about the thank yous. They don't care about success. They want to get sucked up to. That's it. They're that pathetic. But thankfully, there are real leaders who are showing real leadership and talking about how Zelensky's doing the same. I want to take a look at that right here. Zelensky is a courageous man who has defended his people, something Donald Trump would never do. Donald Trump is a coward. He's pathetic. We should call him out. And we're going to on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.